This is a bit of a different video from usual, but a very important one. The Wayki site and channel is very much pro-truth and pro-solutions that will move us into a new paradigm, away from centralized lies, away from elite lies that create mind control and control that creates a mess of a reality. I want to talk about Ethereum, something many people will first hear about in the coming weeks or months, something that has the ability to change so much. To know about Ethereum, it's wise we explain in simple terms what blockchain technology is. Blockchains are a way for many different people or computers to agree on something, even though they don't know or trust each other. It's decentralized and rules out the need for servers, similar to peer-to-peer BitTorrent technology. A blockchain is really a public ledger of all transactions and agreements that have ever been executed. It's constantly growing as completed blocks are added to it with a new set of data. The blocks are added to the blockchain in a linear, chronological order, and the whole blockchain is stored in a peer-to-peer network. Imagine a chain of wooden blocks that a child plays with. As each transaction or action that takes place within this blockchain, for example, purchases, contract agreements, record storage, art creation, new blocks are added to this linear chain. The blockchain is constantly growing as these completed blocks are added. How the actual blocks function at a low level, you don't really need to know. A blockchain is really a big electric system on top of which you can build applications. Currency, like Bitcoin, is just one application that can sit on blockchain. Bitcoin was the first and is the most well-known blockchain technology, but there is a new one, a better one, Ethereum. So what actually is Ethereum? Ethereum is a blockchain, a platform like the internet. Ethereum is a broad programming platform where a developer can build apps, create companies, create contract mechanisms, create social networks, and pretty much everything we already use today on the centralized and elite controlled internet. As Ethereum is a blockchain platform, there is no main authority holding all the information. Imagine a network or community of computers linked together throughout the world, just like BitTorrent peer-to-peer. These computers verify each other's work, and anyone can run programs on them, and users can pay for only what they wish to use. This is pretty much how the Ethereum platform works. Social networks, where the information is stored on one server under one authority, means that central authority owns your information and may distribute or manipulate it however they please, just like the CIA's Facebook. And most of the current internet is made of computers that are centralized, meaning they belong to one company or government. The problem with the current internet is when something happens to one company or your account, whether it be Facebook, Google, Apple, then you either cannot talk to friends, do searches, upload videos, or share photos, and so on, until the company is able to fix the issue or let you back in. Ethereum blockchain has zero downtime as it's peer-to-peer, with hundreds of thousands of nodes, and lets anyone in as there is no authority. Ethereum was created so normal people can build programs we may use every day, which have no middleman and no central server to hold that information. Ethereum was developed by a non-profit organization in 2014, and everyday innovative minds are contributing to the tech to help it grow and to enhance the platform. Ethereum is really like a free, open source, decentralized world computer. It will change how we interact, just like the internet did 20 years ago. All the software is free, all released under the general public license. People naturally think it's the same as Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is really just a transaction and ownership platform for the Bitcoin currency to move about. Ethereum is unlike Bitcoin as it can run smart contracts and smart decentralized applications that run without any downtime, censorship, fraud, or third-party interference. The Ethereum blockchain is quicker than Bitcoin's too. Ethereum has improved on Bitcoin's limitations and failings. If Bitcoin is to cut banks, Ethereum is to cut laws as well as banks. I mean, what is a government? It's just a centralized group that creates laws. They will no longer be needed as they are now, but this is for later on. Ethereum can create transparent governments for communities. It can create secure communications with authentication. It can create secure backbone for commerce and the Internet of Things. It can create secure payments, exchanges, or trades of anything. An Ethereum smart contract is just a phrase bandied about, used to describe how it facilitates the exchange of money, content, property, shares, agreements, or anything else of value. A smart contract becomes like a self-operating computer program that automatically executes when specific conditions are met, and they run exactly as programmed without any possibility of censorship, downtime, fraud, or third-party interference. Ethereum uses the same idea as Bitcoin, but instead of just keeping track of payments, it keeps track of computer programs too. So what are Ether coins? In the Ethereum blockchain, miners mine Ether, a type of crypto token that fuels the network. Beyond a tradable cryptocurrency, Ether is also used by application developers to pay for transaction fees and services on the Ethereum network. Ether is the fuel to facilitate all actions that are made in Ethereum. These actions are vital to creating smart contracts and decentralized applications. Simply put, if your mail was a decentralized app or smart contract, you would still need to pay the postage to send that mail. Ether is the payment facilitator to make sure your decentralized apps work and your smart contracts are executed. You never really own the coins. You just know the key. You just know the key to an address in an online wallet, which you can put into cold storage or paper storage. The wallet isn't linked to you or your identity. It's linked to the key. You control your identity all the time, and you control how you deal with the key. You're in control of your security. Utility and function both have value, so Ether has value. Fiat currency actually has no utility or value. It's just mentally agreed upon. So cryptocurrencies are not really currencies. They are assets. You invest in technologies. Remember, the nature of value is strictly connected to the nature of utility. So what are decentralized applications? One of Ethereum's main goals is to open the floodgates of decentralized applications. Because decentralized applications run on the blockchain, they benefit from all its properties. They are immutable. A third party can't make any changes to the data. They're corruption and tamper-proof. The decentralized apps are based on a network formed around the principle of consensus, making censorship impossible. Secure, with no central point of failure, and secured using cryptography. For example, Uber now acts like a middleman for a rider and a driver. Airbnb acts as a middleman for a hotel and traveller. Bet365 acts as a middleman for a layer and a gambler. All middlemen take a cut. Decentralized apps on Ethereum can change all this by removing the middleman. Governing, eBay, schooling, art, transport, travelling, banking, gambling, exchange markets, auctions, hotels, you name it, could all change. YouTube, Google, Amazon, Dropbox, iStore, Google Play, banks, anything with a middleman is in danger. So could Ethereum be the most valuable technology ever? Well, the view of Ethereum is to be a web version 3, a new internet. This is also presented in a recent price explosion. Each Ether coin has jumped from $10 each to being over $300 each. This is something like 3,000% increase in just a few months. Now, I know a little about trading from Forex some years ago, and there's no real resistance. There's no people coming in and creating a layer of resistance when this price is going up. There's no pressure money coming in to stop this going up. It's practically unstoppable. And if you look at the market capitalization charts, you can see the Bitcoin owned 95% of the cryptocurrency world just a few months ago. And you can see that a flipping is happening, a flippening, where Ethereum looks highly likely to take over Bitcoin just in the next few weeks. The sky's the limit, really, and hardly anyone even knows about it yet. So anyone can buy Ethereum, anyone. You can sort of look at it like Google and Facebook are eating everything, but Ethereum can eat them and the financial markets and every type of contract. It can even eat governments, because governments are just courts that enforce contracts. Let's have a little talk about ICO's initial coin offerings. One crucial factor affecting Ether's price is the rise of initial coin offerings, ICOs, sales of blockchain-linked technology that allow investors to exchange Ether for newly created digital tokens. Some of these offerings have generated millions by selling millions of dollars worth of tokens in minutes. As a result, Ether's value is also related to these offerings and new technologies that sit on Ethereum. ICOs are like the new IPOs, like in the 90s and recently when a company goes public and offers stock. These ICOs will possibly take over. Investing in ICOs is more risky, as many ICOs are just white papers and not yet working or beta products. They still have to go through the product adoption problem. But it's like hundreds of seeds sprouting, and a few of them are going to grow into big trees. And some of these are less than 10 cents a coin, and some will probably rise to over $100 a coin. So you do the maths on that. Some of these other coins that come from ICO initial coin offerings have massive support and large investments. Their prices are more volatile. But Ethereum and Bitcoin are a large way ahead as they are the main platforms. But as we said earlier, Bitcoin will give way to Ethereum very soon, which even one of the exchanges said so just this weekend. Here is a current issue. People can't trust financial managers or finance institutions because they actually provide no service. The same issues with government. You can't trust a system that is merely designed to perpetuate itself. If all you stand for is money, then that's just what you become. This is why 60% of Americans didn't vote. This is why people are not investing. With this new world of Ethereum, you can invest yourself. I don't really want to go into decentralized apps I like or any of these other coins I like, but I will mention two. I like Scenario. It has a attention-based economy, so it could wipe out Facebook. I also like Golem. It creates the first global market for idle computer power, a bit like an Airbnb for your computer resources. Both really smart people behind those projects. So how to get hold of some Ethereum if you want some? There are many ways. You could go to Bitpanda, or you could use an exchange like Kraken. If you want to buy some of these other coins, you could go to an exchange like Bitrex. I was keen to do a bit of research yourself. What I do predict is that Ethereum will grow and possibly take over the internet. Then the community itself could possibly send attacks, DDoS, cyber attacks to governments, Google, and the rest of these toxic gangs. So Ethereum is a decent vehicle towards a new paradigm, and it's pretty much all we got at the moment, so it's worth jumping on the bus, I would say. I was having a bit of thinking the other day, some contemplation, and I like the idea of a replacement decentralized app that can create a form of governance. It's just a very quick conceptual idea I created in a couple of minutes. As there's no need for centralization, there's no need for unelected corporate funded fake leaders. So for instance, on each new moon, a decentralized app could choose 9 people at random, then they create ideas and or decisions, or not. The people will then vote on each idea or concept, or not, as each has a disregard vote, and this lunar cycle of 9 people can create up to, say, 9 new ideas, concepts, or decisions. If a vote, idea, concept, or decision gets voted in, each person can allocate time and energy they want to offer to help it be implemented and get some tokens in return. This would create an organic, natural hierarchy and economy based on tasks, energy, attention, and teamwork. Idea task groups could be formed and could last months or years, far over the time of the random 9 creators lunar cycle. This is just playing around, but this sort of new tech gives you the platform to go with your imagination and create new types of governance. Now, this may all sound a bit nuts to some of you, but look what's happening in a village in Granada in Spain. This small ayuntamiento, which is a town hall, they put things on Twitter, and the community put in what they want to happen. This can be like the times buses are run, what time the school shuts, what food's put on at school, when the street lights come on. So this is already slowly happening in some places. Now, some of you who know my work and know I'm anti-transhumanism, so you might be confused, but I've never said technology itself is bad. In my Kalin conceptual fiction book, I wrote about technology and how it could be great if it was taken out of the hands of the elite and used by the people for the people. So why is there true cosmology in the title of this video? What I've seen in the Ethereum community is a massive amount of globe heads. There's like images of curvature everywhere. There's a moon coin. There's a Mars coin. There's people talking about interplanetary coins and systems. I mean, there's a massive infestation of the spinning ball Earth psyop. Now, these dudes, who many are really old gamers who got rich on Bitcoin, they don't trust middlemen, banks, or governments, but they trust a government military agency, NASA. It's really quite strange. They believe the world is a spinning ball due to CGI and fairy tales. They've not yet looked into flat Earth truth, something this channel has covered for a few years, and was one of the first sites and channels to present proofs related to the spinning ball Earth psyop. As a side note, I know how crazy Flat Earth first looks, but ask yourself what your biggest proof of living on a spinning ball is, and post it in the comments below. So, this video is kind of interesting, as many from the Reddit, Steemit, crypto world will come to this video and ask what is Flat Earth, and some from the Flat Earth community will ask what is Ethereum. But you two groups of people should really tally up, as you both sing from a very similar hymn sheet, you're both going in the same direction, and you're both going to be a big noise in a few years' time. Flat Earth and Ethereum are two of the biggest keywords in recent Google searches, so wise up a little, huh? Look at this post on a blockchain cryptocurrency forum. It reads just like a Flat Flat Earthers post. We all want this centralized toxic elite to end, and this old elite paradigm is already crumbling. Ethereum is the best vehicle there is at the moment to speed this up. And remember, Ethereum can't be controlled. It can't be derailed. The hymn sheet of Flat Earth and Ethereum is the same. Get rid of the toxic, greedy elite full of lies. So welcome to the Ethernet, a true and ethical ecosystem of connecting on the flat plane.